MPC Live 2 3.4.3 update. I'm just sitting here testing it out, man. I just been in the vibes. I'm going to grab a drum kit. I think I'm going to probably get a kit from one of my expansions. You know, you can get that down below. Let's try the Caribbean. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to grab some of that Caribbean music. I think I'm going to grab this. I'm going to probably go in between step sequencing and playing the drums. And let's try out the Black Lion kit. You know, they got the Black Lion mod for the MPC. What's going on, guys? It's your brother O.T.G. The O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And today I have the Akai MPC Live 2 with OS 3.4.3 standalone software. You know, right now I'm putting a 4 on the floor, utilizing the step sequencer. Always remember pad mode is your friend. That way you can fly through. Remember your ergonomics of using your MPC, especially the Live 2 left-hand pads, right-hand screen, knobs. You know, when you think about it like that, you get a lot more done. Of course, you could do it with one hand. But anyway, and today, you know, we're just going to make some music, man. I had a guy ask me about the one sequence method, so I'm going to use the one sequence method. Right now I have it in a 4-bar loop. You know, I don't have my full level on, so I'm playing the hi-hats in, so that way we can have a little bit of the human feel. Some with the velocity, some will be up, some will be down. If you're familiar with my videos, I just put everything. I make the beat first. I do some mixing as I go. And then we always come back and we make those edits later. If I feel like I need to do anything with the velocity, we'll make those changes and all that stuff after we get the idea out. Part of what I like to teach guys is just to stay focused, man. As much as you can. Don't get caught out in the weeds doing other things. Like, let the ideas flow. Trust your instincts and create, man. Yo! So right now, that's what I'm doing. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you check out that Gumroad. You know, you can get this expansion. It's a part of the O.T.G STEMI pack. You can get this over 15 gigs of expansions. It's like 30 gigs worth of stuff for $25, man. So if you don't see the value in that, that's up to you. No problem. That's how you can support this channel. Also by liking, sharing, subscribing. I do have the master class, which has a bunch of 2.15, over 4 hours of 2.15 video. And I'm currently finishing out teaching myself the stuff that I need to start creating number 3. All right. So one thing, I hit that timing correct. I added a little bit of swing to the drums. I think I put it at 57. Shuffle is what it's called. So I hit the TC. Right now we are opening up a plugin, Analog Dreams, from Native Instruments, the Play series. I'm also working on some preset packs, you know, different sounds, because you guys know I use everything right out of the MPC for the most part. I have a bunch of other gear. These expansions you could get, you know, the Gumroad, are these progressions, over 400 progressions, stuff I've collected. So right now I'm going to go through and I'm just going to find a simple progression that we could build off of. Always remember when you have your progressions that there's so much more to it. You know what I mean? There's so much more to it. Like, it's actually playing a progression of chords that are familiar or go together. That's one. But the other aspect is, you know, you can always change the scale. So you can move it from C to an E, or, you know, that's what I'm going to do now. We can always move the scale around and see what other scales or octaves might sound good. You know, you don't necessarily have to play the progression. What you have to know, or you don't have to know, but one thing to know is that, you know, inside of the progression, all of these things logically go together. So you could come up with your own chord progression out of the chord progressions that are pre-built. All right, now I do have a keyboard, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it all from the pads, just so you guys could see how that works. I'm probably going to play just one note on, go through one time and play one note, and then come back and layer it with a lower note. So now I'm going to come back and layer it up with the lower notes. And all this is off the fly. I didn't, you know, in my videos, we just make beats right off the top of the head. No real plan. Part of what I want you guys to see is that, you know, whether there's 10 million bugs or there's none, or, you know, you could, if you have a basic workflow to get stuff done, you should still be able to get stuff done even with the bugs. So, you know, like, say if there was a bug, I don't know, at one of my main processes, you know, let's say the note repeat didn't work, right? Well, then I would use the ratchet effect. Like, I don't let that there's an obstacle always be the end of the game. And just because I know something is supposed to work and it doesn't, the real goal sometimes is to find a way to still get it done. So another tip is you could play like how I'm playing these 808s. You know, I could play them like that because once we get to starting to organize and get the beat together, we can always switch to event muting, and from event mute, you know, play one part of the 808s and leave the high notes out. I don't really know what I'm looking for, but I'm looking for something. something to come on that says, hey, this is the chorus. This is why I like having a bunch of presets, because the way that I made beats, I never know what sound is going to match. So the ability to have a bunch of them inside of the box, inside of the MPC, really helps out. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Also know that everything that I'm playing is still in key to our beat. Alright, one second, sequence man. So what I just did is hit the pencil, and then I extended this one sequence out to 64 bars. 64 bars. 5 tracks, 64 bars. So if we utilize in one sequence, let's say we wanted to have 2 different drum patterns, then what I would have to do is clone it and or load my other drum pattern in and get my 2 pieces. So say if you want to have a bridge, you just got to think about how you set up your tracks, because then you have the ability to mute them, which we're doing now. Right now, I hit that little record automation button. I hit the tab at the top, so now we're in event mode. So every time I touch the pad right now, it's muting the bass. This is why I like Sub Factory, because now it's on its own channel. See, one of the mistakes I made though is because I had the automation on. Now that I moved that fader, it's automated. I thought about it when I did it, and so now there's a couple of steps I gotta do to make sure I don't get lost in the sauce. You get it? And so right now what we're doing is we are essentially arranging it by using the mutes, which saves us having to go in and cut things out and do this and do that. You know, if we don't like it, we can always go and erase it. If we want to keep this version, then we can always duplicate it or go open up sequence 2 and make a whole different version using the same sounds and the same mix. Just maybe a different BPM, who knows? If you want to see that, if you want me to show you that workflow, put it down in the comments. I'll show you how to make multiple beats using one sequence and the tracks that you already have loaded up. So essentially, after you come up with an idea, how to make 4 or 5 different ideas from that one. I can also show you how to maneuver change-ups and different things when utilizing the one sequence method. All right, this is wrapping up. Boom. So right now, I went to pad, mute. So now I'm muting the hi-hats. Muting all of when the pad turns orange, that means it's muted. now that I have the automation on, what I'm going to do is just automate that a couple times. Catch that plug-in, maybe one more time. Right now, it create drops and different things, different feels. One thing is you don't have to overdo it. You don't have to overdo it. Make sure you keep that in your memory. All right, bring in the chorus. The key is to do it back to back. So do your mutes, actual mutes, and then come back and do your pad mutes. So you can remember where you just added drop-offs and different things like that. And so you can only push it further by remembering and doing adding to it with other drums. See, we're going to do this automation one more time. I try to keep an eye on it. So now we got that. You know, my real thing I want to say to you guys is just keep working every day, man. If you need to use song mode, use song mode. If you need help with this, then talk to me. But invest time into yourself and your craft and your trade. And it doesn't matter if your music sounds different or whatever the case may be. Somebody out there will like it. So what I did now is just clone the track. And now I'm going to add some more accents to the beat. Yeah, but if you can, try to get it done. If you're having a bunch of bugs and issues, if you installed it via Wi-Fi, make sure you are plugged in. Make sure it's over 60% charge, and don't mess with it. Let it see what it do. If it don't work that way, then get an Ethernet cord and hook it directly to the back of your modem. It should work that way. If it doesn't work that way, still get the Windows or Mac installer and do it that way. But you want to get this stuff done. And outside of that, make some beats, man. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I like this clap right here. But yeah, make some beats. Get your practice up. You know, it's always going to be people who don't like it and all this other shit. But man, get some beats done. You'll feel good. You know, solve some problems, you'll feel good, and make sure you stay tapped in with me. I've got a whole bunch of new stuff coming. You know, I'm about to try it on the MPC 1. I have a video scheduled for tomorrow for that. We back full-fledged, man. It's your brother, O.T.G.